is Sparta!
Fatality.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number 6 YouTube episode of the UFO Buster Radio YouTube craziness. And today we are going to have the one and only UFO Bros. Wait a minute, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if it's gonna be both of them. It might just be one of them, but they are pretty much what's going on here. They should be here in a few minutes, actually. So be prepared to see it. Get ready, because I'll be honest, it should be pretty funny. These guys are hilarious. And if you don't know about the UFO Bros, you're about to find out. I'll be honest with you. But still, I gotta come back and talk about something because well, it turns out that see, that thing's covering my damn face. It turns out that last Tuesday I had some crazy situation on the podcast. Yeah, so something went wrong. I was talking away like I always do, and all of a sudden everything froze. So if you've been listening to the podcast episodes, whatever platform you use, Apple, freaking Google, whatever the hell it is, guess what? It ended abruptly right when I was going to talk about the SpaceX situation and SN8. So just to finish that part off, before we get the fellas on here, or feller from UFO Bros, SN8 is twice the size of SN5. Just to let that's all I wanted to say. And when SN8 goes up, there is going to be fully decked out ship for you, a fully decked out phallus silver looking thing going up, because it turns out that it will have the cone, it will have the fins, it's going to have the whole thing. And really, SN8 is going to be the one that apparently will be even closest to the final product, just not in size. Because 17, that does actually matter, to be honest. And that's where we're going to be at. I do have someone on that's going to join me. I'm going to add the Norm on here while we wait for the UFO Bros. The Norm is on. What's up, Norm?
Hey guys, how's it going?
We're doing great. So we're here waiting for the UFO Bros. They'll be with us shortly. But I was telling the guys that what I was going to mention on the episode on Tuesday before I don't know what happened. The whole system just froze and it broke down. And I didn't get to finish the episode. But the only story that was left was that SN8 is going to be fully decked out, fins and cones and everything. And they apparently are going to be doing quite a few hops from now to the end of the year. So
a lot of testing.
A lot of testing. And they actually have not too long ago, they blew up either SN6 or SN7. They got a number 2 of that particular rocket.
Oh, well, hey, I'll tell you what, man. It's always better to be safe than sorry with these things. I don't know if they're supposed to put a lot more than 2 people in that thing, right?
Yeah, I think they were saying like up to upwards of about 100 or more.
Oh, jeez.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't think that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot of damn people. What the hell is wrong with my throat now? This is freaking ridiculous. Anyway, so SN8 is going to be the big one. Now, there is plans for SpaceX to do a 12-mile hop. That's freaking amazing.
That's up there, isn't it? How far is it into the atmosphere? 12.
Yeah, I don't know, but they're going to come a little bit short of it. That's for sure.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, you get that altitude, and they're doing really good so far with their rockets that are coming back down in the oceans. I mean, I've seen some of them crash and burn, but that's what those tests are for. And maybe they get all the bugs worked out. I really hope so. I mean, this is just a hard time to be doing anything, man. You know, regardless if it's hockey or if it's football or if it's space, especially if it's space. And those guys, they never messed around in the first place. So whatever restrictions they've added, it's not going to be a big deal to them. So I think they're calm, cool, and collected. I trust our space team. I really do. I think guys in all those departments, mainly right now, with all the success that Elon's had, so I'd hate to see anything happen, with people inside. So why not get some of these tests done? Go up high, let it come down at whatever speed you think is deems fit for the test.
Yeah, that's the point that I've been making, because where Elon is now, that used to be Sir Richard Branson. It's like he's kind of disappeared, kind of.
Yeah.
But Elon, man, he is rocking it. He is excited. He is doing fist pumps every time. Every time you see him on video, he's like a rock star right now.
He is. He is
totally
really.
happy. Jeez,
Yeah, you know what? Branson's on the sideline just looking at it going, okay, I've been there, done that. I know what's happening. And to be honest with you, I mean, Branson had a pretty successful version flight. They took that thing up, they let it go, and there was a lot of confidence in that flight, I thought. And then they showed us the windows. There's a lot of windows to look out of. I mean, every seat is really a window seat. So
geez, yeah, the interior is nice.
Oh yeah, it's like a limousine. It really is. Some of the Hummers out here in Vegas, they look just like that. There's one thing I love about him is he takes his time. It's it is what it is when it came to the train thing, but I don't know what that's all about. I thought that was a done deal too, but we'll see. What's up, Dre?
Yeah, and you're right. But it's the whole corporate thing, right? So it's always like, hurry up and stop. Let's re-examine everything. Let's really.
While we get older and older and older.
And you can't blame them, right? Because all the money that goes into that stuff, you hate to see it blow up on national TV.
For sure.
No
for
kidding.
Sure.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, he's there. I think he's there every time there's a hop. So it's pretty hilarious. I'm getting messages from the UFO Bros. They should be on shortly. Yeah, so that was basically the last news article for the last episode on Tuesday. That's all I wanted to talk about.
Right.
But there. If you go through the description, it's still in there. The article, which actually has a side by side of I think it's SN6 and SN8, and the size difference is it's 17. To be honest, it's
yeah.
It's
I've
huge.
seen some awesome pictures of it decked out, with the fins on it especially. It looks like it'll cut you in half, man. I'm telling you, those are some pretty sharp looking fins. It really, to tell you the truth, it looks like it comes from the '60s. I mean, it looks like old school from way back when, man. It really does.
Right.
And they weren't broke back then either. They didn't, they learned a lot of stuff way back then. So if it ain't broke, why fix it? I don't know.
Absolutely.
This is a gigantic machine. It's going to have gigantic implications, and who knows, man? They may be escape pods for us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Someday.
Renee says Sir Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic Spaceship 2 made a deal with NASA, and she saw it on television news. Yeah.
Interesting.
So let me welcome to the show right now, Joe. What's up, Joe?
Yeah.
UFO bro. Wait a minute. Where's the other guy? Where's Emmett?
He's coming.
Get him on there. Last time that Emmett was on the podcast, someone named Joe didn't make it.
Yeah, I probably had something going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have so many kids. I have so much going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. From what I remember, it's probably dealing with the kids. That's what he said.
Yeah.
So how you been, Joe? We haven't seen you since the Travel Channel special.
Yeah. I've just been hanging out. Me and my brother. I live in Oregon. He lives in Roseville, California. So kind of a trip, but whenever I try to find something, he comes up, or I go down there, and we still do our thing. But I've just been up here, just trying to figure out if there's anything in my area that's, a phenomenon. All I know is that Chiloquin that's by me is huge Sasquatch. Like, I think the Sasquatch crew is out there right now filming.
Oh, are
Nice.
you? Oh, really? Isn't that crazy?
What's going
And
on?
there he is, the other bro, Emmett.
Here.
Now we got problems.
Can you hear me now? I just switched to my headphones.
Oh yeah, we can hear you great. So you guys aren't even next to each other. You guys like far apart. When's the last time you guys were together? Was it the episode, the special?
No, Joe, I came down to saw Joe at his new place a couple times since then. Wow.
Nice.
But this is this COVID thing. It's just like zipped up everyone in their own little bubbles. We can't really do much,
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
It's a bubble world. I love it.
It sure is. We're all bubble boys and gals right now. So listen, the last time that I saw you guys and doing anything that was, it was huge, right? It was the Travel Channel special.
Yeah.
And when I tell you that I was so excited to see it, because you guys had the same chemistry that you do on the Probecast. It was phenomenal. But there is one thing I got to say, though, Joe, I felt like the Travel Channel tried to start to stifle you. You weren't the same Joe. You were like funny Joe, making the voices and the sounds.
As I was telling Emmett when on the show, they wanted me to tone it down.
See, I knew it.
They wanted me to just stick to the script, so it was very hard for me to play off of my natural how I am to what they told me to do. That makes sense.
No, it does totally because you could
Right,
see
Emmett?
it. Well, if you weren't someone that would watch the Probecast and listen to you guys, then you wouldn't even know because the chemistry was still pretty good. You guys did some exciting stuff while you were out there.
Totally.
Yeah, they toned it down a lot.
They did, I think, in all honesty, and I don't know if this is necessarily the thing, but I just got this impression Travel was too worried about being too funny. So, they had a very specific direction they were going in. And the really cool thing, though, about the entire shoot, just to kind of let everybody know, is just being able to, we riffed a lot. Joe and I did not shut the hell up the entire time in that thing. We were being our total normal selves, and let me tell you,
24/7.
They recorded every bit of it. So,
oh really?
They had like a week of footage, and then it was crazy. Everything from when we were signed onto that special to who was going to be on the show, which experts and that sort of thing, that all came together in like 6 weeks, and then they were editing it as we were shooting it. So it was tight packed schedule, not a lot of time or room for error or mistake. And when you're out in the desert and it's hot, that's very difficult to overcome sometimes because you're just like, it's hot, and you're trying to get through all kinds of traffic and deal with people's permits, and it can get kind of tough. But let me tell you something, it was the most fun I've ever had. What do you think, Joe?
Oh yeah, it was a blast. It was so quick though. It went so fast. It's like it's hard to take everything in until after the fact. You're like, oh, that just happened,
Yeah, it was great. From being on this side, being someone that was watching it, it looked like you guys really had a lot of fun.
What?
I'm gonna just copy Joe.
I cannot hear you guys for some reason.
There you
hear
go.
Me now?
Are you okay, Emmett? I think they got to you. Look, you're frozen right now.
Testing 1 2 check.
Yeah. Oh, and he's gone. There you go.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, and he's gone. He got sucked up by the Travel Channel.
There it went.
Hey, you guys are gonna probably have a really great blooper reel. I'm thinking, nice blooper reel on the side, maybe.
Oh yeah, I gotta talk to the producer, but I think they had something in mind. But there was one other feature that was supposed to be in there at the end that never got put in. I'm gonna wait for Emmett to get on to say something about that because I don't want to break the news. But
yeah,
sure. I had a question for you though.
Great. It's something that me and Emmett put together, and it turned out great, but it never got in it. And I'll get further on that soon as he
that was part of my question.
back on.
Yeah, part of my question is, do they give you any footage back at all? Do you get to keep any of that at all? Like anything video? Did they send you stuff? Do you get to ask for it? Like Freedom of
Everything
Information
that was
Act?
filmed. Yeah. I wish everything that was filmed goes straight to Travel Channel Vault, and they hold it in their hard drive vault for a while.
Jeez, we need a UFO Bros breaks into the vault special.
I know, right?
I'm on it.
No kidding. Storm the vault. There you go. I don't know. I think we kind of lost Emmett out in California. I don't think he must be working on it. He said he was calling in by his phone. Using his phone. I don't know. Somebody did. So tell me, out of all the people that you met when you were out there filming the special, which one was the one that was like, dang, I just met this guy, or I just met this gal?
Ron Doty.
Really?
Richard, is it? Yeah, Ron Doty.
Richard.
Yeah.
Richard.
Richard Doty. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I showed him pictures of what the alien looked like, he's all, that's what they look like. And it was like a confirmation.
He wasn't too excited about it, was he?
Yeah, it was. He's all, that's what they are. That's what they look like. I seen it, and my knees kind of buckled, and I kind of dropped because the first time asking these questions was a real answer back. It wasn't like staged. He gave us the real info as there, and
that's cool.
If you watch me, kind of like, I want to know what it tastes like, what it smells. I was excited because I wanted to know more, and he told me as much as he could, and a lot of that didn't get in. They were trying to push this thing so fast, and it was like, boom, we're done. Okay, let's go. We got another 2-hour drive. Let's go. And it was like one thing after another. I wish I could just sit and talk with them and get every information I can, but it was like in and out.
Location, light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's amazing. So you did spend a little bit of time during that special with Jeremy Corbell. What was that like?
I think my brother and him are like best friends.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they talk all the time, and they but Jeremy is awesome. He's great. He's very, very passionate. You could tell it in his voice and the way how his mannerisms are. He's very, very passionate, and he has something to tell, his story to tell. And he's telling it through other people, which I think is great. Or when Mickey Work was trying to, his special narrate. I had to put on subtitles, and I made fun of him for that, and he gave it back to me, and it was a good vibe we had.
Yeah, I bet he did. And actually, when you look at, you can see that enthusiasm that he has for the topic. When he was on Joe Rogan's show, and all of that, it's like, geez, even Joe's like, settle down a second. Let me talk to Bob.
Hold on, wait. What'd you say? What? And he had to go back, and it's just, he's got so much to tell in such a small time. It's like he can't get it all out.
Exactly.
I think everybody's hitting him up too. I mean, he's getting emails from everybody, and that's got to be time consuming. And he has to walk on eggshells a little bit because he doesn't want to make like an accusation that can't be verified in some way.
Yes. Yeah, he's very strict and to the point of what he wants to say, and then that's pretty much, that's it, and it's closed. He doesn't really want to, like you say, he does walk on eggshells. He doesn't want to spill out other people's information. He wants to spill it out with them. Like, Bob Lazar.
That's respectful.
Right, exactly. It makes a lot of sense. So, Emmett, I see you're back, and we were just asking Joe about the one person you guys met when you were doing this particular special that really was like, yes, I just met this guy. This is awesome. So Joe already told us who he thought. Who was your person?
Oh, Rick Doty.
Oh my God, there you go. You guys picked the same guy. So why did you think he was the one?
I would say for me, he's just such like this kind of polarizing figure. Everybody has an opinion on him, and I don't know, something about that just appealed to me. And when I brought him up, actually, is because I'm friends with him on social media, and we've talked before the show, and I just thought it would be so great to kind of bring in a somewhat controversial figure who was instructed to be disinformation to people, especially in the UFO community, and maybe see if he has an opportunity to reflect on that and see what he has to say about it. And he had just some fantastic stories to share. I don't know. It was just kind of a cool moment to meet a guy that is so polarizing. Kind of like when we met Stephen Greer, you know. Stephen Greer is a different type of polarizing, of course.
Yes, he sure is. He's a fascinating guy. I got one more. So, by the way, if you're looking at the screen,
yeah, with a lot of bodyguards,
carries a gun.
Okay,
watching him be. Yeah. On the top right, we have the Norm. That's who you're speaking to right now. And we're going to add one more person onto this. That is Green Man.
hey guys.
There he is.
Hey.
Hey guys.
What's going on?
What's up?
By the way, yeah, he's out there in California with you, Emmett. So let's see if he has any technical issues. Might be going around.
I can hear you.
Yeah,
guys.
we can. Yeah, we can hear you. You'll drop in a second. So anyway, so you guys were out there. You get the special done. You met all these guys, and then you come back home. What did you get from it? What did you take away from it? As far as what did you learn? What did it mean to you?
It's a really good question, actually.
Haven't thought about it yet.
Well, I think the biggest
Aside from
takeaway,
feeling like a superstar.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That whole thing was a blast. But the biggest takeaway, I think, is Area 51 is real, and it only opens your eyes the more people you meet with, and the more people you put on the spot that you can question. You kind of start getting a sense of how some of these weird sort of legends about aliens being under the base start to happen, or Bob's story is certainly absolutely the most credible I've ever heard, which is why we featured him prominently on the special, because I don't know how you guys feel about Bob. How does everybody here feel about Bob Lazar?
Bob Lazar?
Yeah.
I like Bob.
I like Bob.
I think he's
Like
on
Bob?
point.
Okay.
Hey,
Bob is great.
haven't you noticed how Bob Lazar and Rick Doty, how they carry themselves? Like they have the answer and they know it, and it's just the way they carry themselves. Like Rick, when we went and met him, we just met him for that short period, and then he left. We didn't talk to him very much or nothing. It was like a quick in and out.
We had lunch with him, yeah. But Bob Lazar is just such a...
Am I coming through okay? Or am I breaking up?
You're actually frozen. Yeah. So listen. So here's to your question, Emmett, about Bob Lazar. I initially had my concerns, right, because he was like a recluse. You couldn't see this guy anywhere. You couldn't reach out to him or anything like that. And all of a sudden, when the Corey Bell special comes out, and then he ends up on Joe Rogan's show, it's like new doors open of credibility for me, and just seeing him up there and expressing himself was fantastic. And he should have done that a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, man. That was a moment. What was it, like 30 years in the waiting? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a long time since he's really discussed anything. But I'm sure I don't know how into it you guys are, but I've listened to just about everything I could get my hands on in regard to Bob's story. It only just solidifies, I think, that he is telling the truth when you consider all the sort of technological advancements we've had. Element 115 being one of a discovery that indeed did happen. And then, of course, recently, the New York Times coming out with the article about the Pentagon.
That freaks me out. That's
being
cool.
briefed on out-of-world retrieved craft. Hello. That only even makes it more real to me, because these little stories about crash retrievals, and we've heard them forever, right? As people that are into the paranormal, we've heard stories about it, and it is so freaking weird that it's in front of your face now in some of the biggest publishers in the country. New York Times.
Yeah.
And it's very much that feeling of like, we already knew this. We've been saying this. We've fucking produced TV shows about this. It's been out there. Nobody's paid attention to it. And then an article comes out, and before you know it, it's like exploding across headlines. So it all just just to kind of come full circle around to your question is, I think we learned that it's far weirder than anybody really could ultimately realize. We were confirmed that by multiple sources. There's just so many parts that are true and so many parts that people take advantage of and use that as a way to further their whatever. So, you know, you also have to balance it. So even if you're talking to somebody like Rick Doty, you can't just say that everything is true. Even with any sort of person, you have to kind of use your own intuition and sense to kind of get a feel for, is this the sort of information I can add to my collective knowledge, or do I just discard some of that information? So it's only just a bigger part of it all. And I always tell people, if you're going to go to a seminar, if you're going to listen to somebody's documentary, you have to go through and take the parts out that really make the most sense.
Exactly, the ones you can, at least for your own, from your own perspective, you can explain. But at what point during this whole situation did Joe turn to you and say bullshit? Did he ever say to you?
All the damn time, man. Are you kidding me? He's a little more grounded in that sense. So he does. A lot of people don't know this. He does have a top secret clearance. People
does he really?
And he sure does. So he's worked, at aerospace facilities. So he has a kind of a better understanding, I think, of, is that triangle really alien? Or is that
right
ours? Or that sounds like something I heard. So there's kind of that cool anchor on that side that he kind of has a better insight to some of that stuff. So he's always, I would say effectively cautious and skeptical.
So listen, this is the episode, we call it the Thursday Night Freakout. But before we get into the freakout part, there's something I got to know from you guys is what's next.
Yeah, so you have to be honest.
You've been with all these people, you've met. Actually, before we even get to that, did you learn something that you did not know before that kind of changed things or made the ufology thing a bit more credible to you, substantial?
Greg Agigian. He actually blew my mind in this sense. He explained, because he's a history professor and he's very much at Penn State, by the way, and he has very much sense of the mythos and the history of that area. So we learned that a lot of native tribes did rituals in that sort of area because it was rich in phenomena like lights and balls and orbs, and a lot of, I guess, Native Americans in that area were, always drawn into that area. So it just seems that there's kind of this interesting comparison to an area that has a history of weird supernatural stuff that they just kind of like, put a base right there. I mean, like, why there? It's so very specific. So I think that's something I thought was cool, because I never thought about that. I just thought, well, it's in the mountain range, you can't get to it. But there's also kind of that sort of, I guess, skinwalker feel to it in a way, like, like there's something going on there beyond just being hidden or being clandestine sort of operation. I think there might be something to the local area. That's hard.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that happening, especially there. So, now that you've done
one thing I do notice, one thing. I'm sorry, I just wanted to chime in about the Area 51 real quick. One thing I have noticed, being out here and looking at the backyard of it all the time, they do a lot of Nellis testing flights out here, and they are not allowed to go anywhere close to that mountain. I've seen defensive lights in the distance over the mountain where Area 51 is supposed to be. So whatever it is, it's still secret. It's still off limits. It's still, you should not trespass. I just want to throw that in there real quick.
They still do. That's their hub for stealth testing.
Sorry, did I come through?
Yeah, it did. By the way, Emmett and Joe,
not coming through?
Is actually out there in Nevada.
Oh, I'm breaking up. I'm sorry.
A lot of crazy things out there.
That's Area 51 backyard. That's amazing.
Yeah, there you go. So then the question for you guys is: you've been through the special, you've kind of hit the big time when it comes to ufology. You're up there with some of the best. So, what happens next? What's the next project?
But they're explainable. They're explainable, sort of.
What was that? What's going on? I think we lost.
I think Norm is having some delays there. We're getting some delay.
I think we're hearing you like 3 seconds ago or something.
Yeah, it's weird. It got a crazy delay here.
It's Area 51.
What's next, man, is this COVID thing hit and it
big time.
Upset.
I am. Am I messing the whole thing up?
Yeah, you're not even in sync here.
Yes, you are.
That is very weird.
They're jamming you from over the mountain, Norm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's better than being probed, so you're good. So what's what's in the future for you guys after this big project?
Look, we have been all over the country.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll jump out real quick.
All right, Norm.
Oh, yeah. Is everything all right? We good?
All right, okay. I think we're good. We're good now. We're good.
So we've been to so many different places, searching literally for UFO pieces, and interviewing the best of the best. We're going to keep trucking forward. I think that what we're going to do is really we have to bring our research more like what this is. It needs to be, we need to use people all around the country from their homes and from their devices and from their internet to help research some of this stuff that's kind of coming up. And the crazy thing is this is such a huge year for UFO news. It's like probably the biggest year in history, and nobody can fucking do anything about it.
Yeah.
We can't go out and, there's no way to celebrate it or to, kind of have that community spirit of, okay, we're going to get the information. But I think that's kind of where we're headed, is just continue to build a community of people that are really passionate about this and are going to truck forward. In terms of like, are we going to be on TV again? We have some other stuff coming up. But we don't know. You never know.
Yeah, this whole COVID thing, it's kind of put a stop on travel stuff right at the moment.
Yeah, it sure is. But at least you guys have made some really fundamental connections, when it comes to people in this topic. So I'm sure the future is bright for you guys no matter what.
Well, thanks, man. I mean, we've been around. How long I thought we've known you, what, like 3 years
Oh,
now?
man.
Yeah, about 3 years. Yeah.
And this is just a subject we're all going to be here like 10 years, and we're going to be here talking. Hopefully, okay. Look, here's a question.
Okay, shoot.
If we do get acknowledgement that there are extraterrestrials and UFOs, what the hell are we going to do? What are we going to do then? We don't have any. There's no more conspiracies to
that's it.
We're all done. That's it. It's over.
We'll move the conspiracies to Mars.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about other planets now. That's what we'll do.
It'll become, how long have you really known about it, more than just,
that's going to lead to all kinds of legality issues and some.
Boy.
That could be a disaster, actually, now that you mentioned that.
I actually got a question
first to put their flag.
I got a question for you guys real quick.
Yeah.
By the way, this is Dre coming from Texas.
All right.
What is the coolest gear you've got to use?
Oh, we've used actually a lot of gear. Actually, our favorite, just a good old metal detector. We found a piece of crash debris in Needles, California, with just a good old metal detector and a
Geiger meter.
Yeah.
And
to kind of measure the background radiation and figure out what area we were. We've done a lot of filming for a lot of different stuff that we don't know if it'll ever make the light of day, but we've done some pretty significant investigations into like the Needles crash, where we got to use some really good equipment. And we pulled. I could show it to you. I can show it to you if you want to see it. Nobody's ever seen it.
Yeah, let's see it.
I'm down. So I asked the question, like, y'all gotta have your hands on like all kind of cool gear, you know, like you're like the Navy SEALs of ufology.
I wish there was a budget for that, man.
That'd be a cool budget.
Yeah, there you go.
So I know you gotta have access to stuff, or someone said, hey, why don't you try this out while you're doing this? You know, there's always someone out there trying to push their products, but at the same time, you're like at the leading edge of technology still, you know?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
That's where we want to be. There are private organizations, people that are working on building UFO tracking technology. That is, you know, I think where the most help is going to be, kind of identifying or getting a sense of where these things are taking place, and kind of vectoring in, you know, the hot spots and that sort of thing, and being able to explore that. Because there's only so many times you can go to Roswell. There's only so many. You know, we need to know what's the new Roswell. What's the new?
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, Emmett, show him the piece.
Hey, Joe says, "Come on, let's see it. Let's see the 17."
Okay, give me a second.
He makes a good example of, you can only so many times you go to Roswell, and there's only so much you can talk about Rendlesham. You know, it's kind of like already.
We have something that we can show you that I don't think's ever gonna be shown.
Actually, no, this hasn't been shown.
No, it hasn't. And we did a whole day on it, and they never.
They showed a brief clip of it on Storming Area 51. So we do have it in a case.
Is it radioactive?
Yeah. By the way, this piece was looked at by astronaut Scott Kelly. Astronaut Scott Kelly took a look at this and said that said some things.
Put them on the big screen. Put them on the big screen, Manny.
Yeah. So
I don't even know if I can.
Bro, can you turn your camera so you can get big screen?
So this
looks like a. Is that what is that?
That's like a piece of debris.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this. This is weird. There is no char, but there's this interesting bubble where it looks as though it heated up enough to change the metal.
The structure. The structure of it.
Show it again, bro.
Yeah, you're on big screen now.
It's literally a bubble right in the middle. Now, here's the interesting part. On this side, there's like a weird yellow tinge. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So, astronaut Scott Kelly explained to me that a lot of stuff in space that's exposed to metal in this way gets a interesting yellowing on it.
Radiation type of yellowing.
Yeah. And you can see here where, it was ripped off of something. It looks as, this is all awkward. Sorry about that.
But we had it tested, bro.
Yeah, but we're not going to release. We're not going to tell everything right
Well,
now.
I'm just saying it's not just a piece. We actually found something and had it tested, and it's insane what the results are.
Joe, can we just mute Emmett for a second? You just tell us everything, Joe. We're gonna know it all.
No, we're not going to do that. This is our, this hasn't really gone around the community yet. I don't know if people would care, but
right.
It has been looked at by skeptics. It's been looked at by people who investigate and go after artifacts of any sort of paranormal thing. I've actually had an aerospace engineer look at it. So the thing that everybody can agree on is that it's very, very weird, especially the way that it looks, the way the metal's bent, the way the metal's bubbling, but there's no sign of burning, which is probably, I think, the weirdest thing about it.
Okay.
So just showing you again here. This is that bubble.
It's not paint. It's not paint.
It's not paint. I think Joe knows what it is. Joe, just tell us, Joe. You can just tell us.
I'm gonna start calling you the metamaterial man.
Yeah.
So it's been sent out and tested and checked. It's metal.
It has been tested. We do have the numbers back on terms of what the.
That's for another time.
That's for another time.
That's for the next special, the real special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pretty big deal. Not a lot of people have any sort of crash artifacts. We literally dug that out of the sand on the banks of the Colorado River in Needles, California. And we found that location by interviewing the local radio host getting a local geographer, is that the name? Map people. What are they called? People that I can't think of it. Gave us exactly pretty much.
Cartographer? No, is it?
No, it's a map maker. Geologist or something like.
Anyway, we know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they gave us
map guys.
They gave us what they came up with when they investigated in 2008, because this was in May 2008. Something came through the sky of needles and lit up the entire place like daylight. This bright blue, sort of turquoise-ish, like tube came out of the sky, crashed right into the banks of the Colorado River. The whole town was like, what is going on? People were up at 2 a.m. calling the radio stations, calling everybody they can to see what was going on. Without a moment's notice, helicopters came through. And behind it was a sky crane. And it came through literally over the town of Needles. By the way, Needles is, I'm sorry, it is the armpit of California. It is very, it's like an entire town of trailer parks.
Is there refineries on there?
So these people, what I'm telling you is these people were like freak out, right? So the sky crane comes in, which is this giant helicopter, drops its claw, picks this object up, they fly out with it. Next day, military kind of infiltrates Needles, California, asking questions, asking people what they saw. Did you think you see it? Did you think you saw it? Did you, scientists were coming in, eating the local food, which is, I don't remember that Chinese food, Joe? Anyway.
Chinese food in 108 degrees. That was fun.
Anyway.
Oh, nice.
So they scared the people there. And then they all disappeared, and then there was nothing ever heard about it. So we're not sure, was it just an advanced military sort of aerospace craft that crashed? Because I'll tell you, whatever crashed, the military was on its ass. There, it was like a full squadron of copters that were following it as it was crashing, according to eyewitnesses. So, and there hasn't been anything else since. So when we went back there and we, zeroed in on the area, we were just getting hits. And a lot of it was stupid shit. But the interesting, like a piece of wire or a coil or something like that. But there was nothing out there. I was thinking maybe this is like a piece of a boat, or maybe it's, I don't know,
piece of an RV or something
like that. But it's not. I'll tell you that it is not.
It's not a beer can, so
it is not a beer can.
No.
And we have, the cool thing is it was the moment we actually found it and the moment we dug it up is all filmed, but we don't know if anybody will ever see it. It was a legitimate find. It was a legitimate find on camera. It was.
That's right. And one day we'll see it, because we can't right now. So listen, guys, is there something that you came across you wish you had not found out about when you were out there during the raid Area 51?
I did not want to hear about. Or sorry, say that one more time.
Yeah, was there anything out there that you experienced you really didn't need to?
The heat?
The people? Well, some of the people were fun out there at the event. It was just, you gotta think there's like 3 million people there. It was just like a party after party after party. Pretty much everybody just walked up to the gate, looked at it, turned around and walked back.
Really?
But the people there were fun. They were lively. Everybody was just sitting together. We want to see aliens.
Well, okay. I'll tell you about one thing that I guess, I don't know if it goes along the lines of your question, but we were totally disappointed when we got to the little alien. There was something going down there.
Really?
We were so sad. They wouldn't let us in.
Oh, really?
We had to everything, and they would not let us in, and we were like dying to go in and sit at that bar and see all that shit in there, and we couldn't. But we were on the outside of it. That was about the best we could do. That's where the party was happening.
Yeah. So we also just got joined by Pucky. Pucky, it looks like you have a.
What's that, man? Hey.
Hey, how's it going, man? That bar
Where's the
is
cat?
awesome. Oh, my cat? I don't know. Where the hell is she at? I don't know. Where am I at?
The cat's messing with the metamaterial.
Oh, yeah. That bar, man. That bar is pretty awesome to go at that. At
The
Rachel
little alien
Nevada.
bar? Yeah.
I've been there before. So it's
Have you
pretty
stayed
fun. I
overnight?
love going up. Yes, I camped out there. I camped outside for 2 days. I was there for 2 days. I did
Was
a
this
couple of years
for
ago.
the-
Yeah,
not
a couple of years
for
ago, I
storming?
did a I did like a little independent documentary with me and some of my friends. We traveled 2 weeks across the country, going to like UFO hotspots and haunted attractions and stuff like that. And our final
Sweet, man.
destination was Area 51. So went out there. It's pretty awesome. But I was going to ask you this: have you guys ever been out to Aurora, Texas, out to the cemetery?
We have.
Yeah, what did you think about
Yes.
that town? Did you go to the city hall? It's like a one-room place.
I just can't
It was-
believe that it's
Go
like
ahead, bro.
this tiny grave. Like, it's so
Yeah.
uneventful.
It's they got a flower pot there. You know, that was one of the destinations too. I went there too, and I was like, I've seen like I guess the most famous part of it is the archways going into the cemetery. You know, that was pretty cool
Right.
to see that. But did you happen to get to talk to anybody when you were out there? Like,
No.
because we got to talk to the groundskeeper that take care of the cemetery, and we got to meet the mayor, and they had this like a couple of aliens inside the like the small city hall area, and we got to like take pictures with them and everything like that. It was pretty cool.
See, we just kind of just drove through. We were kind of going we went across the country. We went there. We stopped a little bit. We didn't really do much. We didn't feel there was really much to do, so we just kind of blew through there. But typically, our investigations go further than that. Like in Roswell, we actually stayed in Roswell for like 3 days to be in it. Yeah. Whereas in Aurora, we didn't. Area 51, we've stayed there so many times now. Where else have we've done a lot of camping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe,
they told us. I mean, it's like
that?
I live in North Carolina right now, so.
Oh, who's in Texas? Wait, who's in Texas? Oh, you guys. Okay, sorry. For some reason, I'm thinking you're in Texas. I don't know.
But I mean, I really loved it. I loved going out to Rachel. I love the drive, and we got to camp out there, and it was like the camo guys. They would drive by ever so often and just kind of slow down and watch us. And when we were filming inside of the little alien, we were told that whenever the security guys at NSA, CS, or whatever, you know, FBI, whoever came in, we had to shut filming down. We could not film them at all. So every time they came in, we had to shut it down. So it took us like to get an hour's worth of footage. It took us like 6 hours. You know,
Jeez.
Yeah. Hold
because
for
people
plane.
kept coming in. Well, I mean, it's the only place for was 140 miles. You know, to get a beer. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we were freaking first time we were trucking down that road. I don't know what it is in the middle of the night, not knowing there are cows.
Cows, yeah,
freely roaming around.
Yeah, they're in the perfect spot, aren't they?
I mean,
That's the base.
they have like pictures of people that have like collided with cows.
Oh yeah,
like over there daily. Yeah. But I want to do more of that, you know.
So anyway, listen, so you guys, so you're at the point where right now we're looking forward to see more of you guys. But of everything that's been going on this year, because we know this is a crazy fucked up year. You know, we got the COVIDs, we got Wuhan screwing things up for everybody. Now we also got the space race going on. We got Elon. We got all these other people. We got the Starlink satellites. And Elon wants to put freaking internet straight into your head. So
yep, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So what is it that you're looking forward to for 2021 when it comes to all of this? And do you think the Pentagon is really going to say, yes, we have off-world vehicles?
Here's what I think is going on. I'm just gonna take a few steps back, and I think there is like a 100-year plan since the 40s to lay this out for the people. And the reason being is today's kids, as an example, are being born into a world where UFOs are now a known common thing. I wasn't born into that. You weren't born into that. So it never just became part of our normal everyday, like, oh, we went to the moon. Oh, it's like going to the moon. You grow up and you weren't part of that. You just know that we were on the moon, and it's not really that special to you because, as far as you've known, we've always been on the moon. Right. And I think that's what's going to happen, and it has been happening with our younger generations. Is as they come forward, they're like, oh yeah, oh, that doesn't surprise me. Is what I hear people say a lot about these recent revelations in the news media and the press. So I think we're nearing that 100-year mark where we're going to get more and more information faster. I think a big part of that is we're going to bring up Trump because he uses certain words, and he's very, he has been using, as an example, COVID. He's referring to it as an invisible enemy, and I find that very interesting because in a lot of the CIA documents and a lot of the release stuff through the Freedom of Information Act, it's referred to as invisible threat, invisible enemy. And I think that that's another part of conditioning people, because he said it a lot. I don't know if he's that smart or he's doing that intentionally, but I have not heard that from other presidents. The other thing that I think the Space Force is that's a big milestone. And I think if you're going to come out and start acknowledging to the American public that, yes, indeed, there are things in our skies and we don't know where they're from, I think probably a good idea to establish a Space Force so that the American public feels like they're protected or that we're able to overcome some sort of huge threat. Because the first thing you don't want to do is tell people, oh yeah, well, there's these things, we know where they're from, and they're not ours, they're not human. And by the way, there's wars going on, and there's just too much, I think, for somebody to assimilate. So I kind of lost my direction here. Where was I going with this? I am. So
you're
yeah,
saying
is another part of this.
Joe's going to sign up. Joe's going to sign up with Space Force, I think.
I will. I'll
really
protect the
bad
planet.
idea.
You're working on your 100-year plan.
Yeah.
100-year plan, yes.
Yeah. Do not give Joe a button or a soundboard.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think that we're in the sort of final stages of acknowledgement, because I don't want to call it disclosure. It's already been disclosed, I feel like we're just getting further acknowledgement of this sort of phenomenon. Another thing, too, is I'm not a scientist, but quantum mechanics and quantum science is now more to the forefront of, I think, some of the brightest in 2020. And that sort of science does indeed explain how something like a UFO or a vehicle traveling vast distances, which other people just think is impossible. So they stop right there at kind of allowing themselves to think further than that. But the way that people describe UFOs phasing through walls or instantaneously disappearing, those things can now be sort of, I think, hashed out with quantum theory. That's my personal opinion. So I feel like we're all just kind of getting to this point where we just sent that new rover to Mars. It's got a freaking helicopter with it.
Yeah, so a little baby chopper. Yeah.
Caves and crevices. That's going to be the first announcement, I think. We're going to find this biological life. And then everybody's going to go, okay, well, there's bugs in the world. Super great. But I don't think they're going to come out and say, hey, we have crashed UFOs and they're from advanced intelligent beings from another planet or dimension. I don't think we're going to get that for, probably another 20 years, 30 years, probably. That's my opinion.
No, I think so. I think you're right. I don't think it's going to come out in that fashion. Not at all. Even Bob Lazar was talking about this on Instagram, saying that more than likely they're just going to backtrack everything and say that's not what they said. So, yeah, I could see that happening. Bob might be right. He might be right. So to you guys, do you guys have any questions for our guest, the UFO Bros?
I got one on that piece of metal.
Yeah.
You guys, you say you had Geiger counters.
Yes.
Did it have a higher than normal Geiger counter reading than normal background? Was the metal itself, did it have any higher level of radiation? Or is this one of the secrets you're not going to spill yet?
What I can tell you is that we took background radiation levels to just kind of get an idea of what the sort of normal natural radioactivity of the area. It wasn't anything I think that we would be really excited about, but there were some small changes. I know that. I do know that sort of led us in that direction that we went into, because there were just minute changes in sort of background radiation. And that's probably I don't know. I hope that answers your question, but
so the metal itself has a little bit higher of a.
Oh, we have not had it tested for that.
Okay. So you didn't have the Geiger counter when you found the actual piece.
When I was in the area, it did spike, and I said, "Bro, stop!" And then we started using the metal detector, and we found something weird, and that's when we started digging like 4 or 5 feet down, and that's where we found it.
I don't know, that was like about 3 feet. Well, anyway,
it was like deep. 3 or 4 feet deep.
Yeah, and we just kept digging. We were like, "Listen," we pulled that right out of the ground, and we were able to get. I don't know if you were here for. We did get the metal composition done, like at least a basic sort of understanding of the elements of it.
And it's not. Yeah.
It's definitely something that shouldn't be out in the desert.
Don't say anything.
It shouldn't be out in the desert. Let's just put it that way. It's that metal isn't made to be. Why would for somebody to be having like out in the desert?
I think they're hoping that if we ask enough questions, you guys will just divulge. Like we'll beat you down. It's just a mission, like a wrestling match in this bitch.
I got a question for y'all too.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think? Like, okay, you found that in Needles. Imagine what the stuff is sitting in Siberia or in Russia that no one can get to. Can you imagine that? Gold mines.
Oh my God.
I just think that's just a perfect place. It's the middle of nowhere. No one's around. Mm-hmm. You know, anything could fall. And it's that part of the world that constantly gets bombarded. And like when you see stuff from their video cams and their dashboards and their home cameras, it's lighting up the sky. You don't see that shit over North Carolina. You don't see that shit over Texas. You don't see that shit over California. No, I mean, even in South America, you don't see stuff like that.
Yeah, so maybe even Greenland. You know?
Yeah, well, top and bottom of Earth. You know, those are the places that somehow get hit that we don't get to see. So those are the places I want to go to. You know, I mean, other places, that's a hit and miss. But I know those the cold parts of the world, those are gold mines.
Well, there are. Are you familiar with? There was a picture, I think, or a video of this being. Looked about 2.5, 3 feet tall in the snow. Did you see that video?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it's pretty amazing. It looks like an alien being.
When they find like a little dead alien in the snow or something there?
Yeah. That's interesting. There's also another set of pictures, I think, from, I'm not really sure exactly, but somewhere you're talking about this being, looked like it got like electrocuted on a fence. Have you seen that? Shit. Yeah, it's an alien, and it's like dead on a fence, and these obviously military people are removing him, and there's pictures of it. See, I want to know more about that, right? Like Joe said, just like aliens. What about Skinny Bob?
Skinny Bob.
We talk about UFOs. We don't talk about aliens. We need to talk about some more about what could we possibly have? Because I think this whole thing is to sidestep the aliens and not really try to talk about that. Let's just talk about the UFOs. That's what the general media is doing, which I think is a smart move. But
we're talking about the ship, not the people. The running ship.
Exactly right. Yeah. Well, who's on?
Let's be honest. These places are too damn cold. No one gives a damn about the North or Antarctica. It's too damn cold to go to these damn places. So of course I'm going to hide a big ass fucking UFO there and my whole alien family because no one's going to show up.
Yeah. But doesn't the US
Antarctica
have
is the projects for the aliens?
Doesn't the US have bases in Greenland? There, I think we do.
Antarctic bases.
Yeah, we do. We have bases there.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
Refueling.
Like we have
those guys go crazy.
Like Air Force bases in Greenland.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they go crazy. They go nuts. Especially the guys in Antarctica. There's stories of them trying to kill each other while they're down there doing the little science experiments. Yes. No, I would not want to go there. Screw that. I'll let ET come to the U.S.
I am fond of the weather, though.
Yeah.
I don't mind a good igloo every once in a while, especially in this kind of heat, man. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's hot as hell in Texas.
It's inappropriate.
Yeah.
That's why we're in South Texas.
Jesus, there's no reason for this heat. I don't know if that's going to work, but
yeah.
We'll see. There's no reason
to go to Antarctica.
I'm ready.
That's hilarious. It looks like Renee is shooting off a bunch of places here. I don't know what she's talking about. Valiant Thor.
Oh,
I know that guy. He owes me money.
I bet he does.
Look,
and he took your hammer too.
Who talked about Valiant Thor? Who was that?
Renee Cruz. She's one of the folks in the live chat on YouTube.
Renee.
Well, you guys should know Renee. She's been on your cast, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
Well, here, Valiant Thor, that's just a really interesting story. That's basically about a Venusian, right, that is somehow infiltrated in a positive way into our government, and there's like pictures of him, and that they were, what is his name? Adamski, I think? Is that his name? That talked about the Venusian. Let me see, what was his name? I'll have to Google it.
It looks like Renee's all about that. She probably has learned.
Yeah, that's right. George Adamski, I was right.
Adamski.
Yeah, he claimed to have had visits from people from Venus, with a V.
Yeah,
Venus. Yeah.
It wasn't. It wasn't a feline girl, was it?
I don't. He had some sort of relation, like he talked about how he had like this lunch, and then Valiant Thor came, and then he looked so much like a perfect human, and then. But the thing is, if you look at the Adamski photos, you know they look kind of like the top of a Coleman.
Yes.
What's that called? Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
The very top of it. So I don't really know about that story. I don't really know about Valiant Thor. I have a hard time with the Adamski sort of story, but
yeah, I really have a hard time with any of those stories from back in the day. For fuck's sake, who was it was saying? Was it Dre or someone saying that we're tired of Roswell and Red Shim and all those fucking stories? We're done with that. This is it. 2021.
Amen.
Let's change it.
Like Manny says, that's still 1980. Come on, get over it.
Yeah. Jeez, fuck. Where's my bell bottoms? Get the fuck out of here.
1950 called Once It's Roswell Story Back, I think.
Yeah, no kidding. So what do you guys, I didn't see too much of you guys talking about the Tic Tac and stuff like that. What do you guys think about that? Flavor.
You don't like
it? I am tic-tacked out. Okay, look. It's funny, I was talking to Jeremy Corbell about this. I don't think he likes it, but I'm like, so what? Because here's the thing. The historic part about it is not the video. It's the fact that it was released and that it was acknowledged by the U.S. government, right? The DOD. There's some better shit than that. But it has put us in a positive direction. I'm tired of the Tic Tac story. I'm ready for new stuff. That shit was in 2004. Okay.
Most relationships don't last that long.
What's that?
So most relationships don't last that long.
I know.
And it's still there.
But it's interesting, but it's been analyzed to death. And you got that guy like Mick West on Twitter who's trying to debunk it. He's like, it's a pigeon, it's a balloon, it's a
right.
It's a blow-up doll, it's the blueberry, it's the camera, whatever the fuck he has to say. You know.
Oh my gosh!
It's just it has ignited a storm on UFO Twitter. She said that.
No, I'm sure it has, and it keeps coming back, right? It's the gift that keeps on giving. So every every year we get a little bit more here and there. But
every time the news publishes an article, they put that same damn picture.
Yes.
So it looks like it's the same story every time. Just maybe use a different like frame or something. I'm just ready to move on from it, basically.
So is there any UFO incident that you and Joe kind of disagree about? Wait. Let's let Joe answer that. Joe's kind of pondering it over there. What do you think, Joe?
Thinking, not really. We pretty much go in everything, at the same time, and we come to a plan of what we're gonna do. Do we? I don't think so.
I think the one thing that we disagreed on was whether something was a balloon or not.
Yeah. Oh, fucking balloons.
Yeah. There's another part of something we filmed where we, had to analyze this video and break down what it was. And I thought it was a UFO. He thought it was a balloon. And so we did a test where I have a video of it. I'll have to share it. I'll tell you something about balloons. Let me tell you something about balloons.
Okay, go.
When you release a handful of giant latex balloons into the sky at the same time, not like we're talking like big ones, okay?
Yeah, like the huge ones.
We released them in a cluster.
17-inch latex balloons.
Wait, how many inches?
17.
17.
Oh,
the big ones.
Balloons. Yeah.
Balloons. Latex. Wink, wink. Balloons.
But
let him go.
Get on with it, bro.
Sorry. You said inches. I got distracted. When the balloons are let go at the same time, they follow each other exactly. They seriously, literally look like they're in formation, and that is.
Do you think the static electricity keeps them together in the atmosphere?
No. They just maybe they seem to follow each other on the way up. They don't disperse quickly. So a lot of people, they share these horrible videos of this clearly a cluster of balloons.
Mm-hmm.
And before it was a little bit harder to tell, but after we did that experiment, it was pretty clear that we were looking at a balloon. Unfortunately, Joe was right. But
oh, there you go. One for Joe.
No. Joe's always right more than you know, actually.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, we've kind of ourselves here have had discussions about balloons recently. But they're a pain in the ass, to be honest. Balloons really are a pain in the ass. Especially when you got those Mylar balloons and you don't use a camera stand or a tripod. I don't know. But so you guys have been fantastic. So we can't wait to see you guys in your next project and see what else you got cooking up. And really, what about the Probecast? Are you guys not coming back to the podcast ever?
Oh, actually, we've had several iterations of what we were going to do with the show. We've been kind of on. Let me tell you something. We were in talent contract since 2017, all the way up until December of last year. Oh no, wait, no, we were just came out of. I think we're coming out of contract
this year. Stupid.
This year. Anyway, it has been a long journey of working our asses off and not being able to share it. Seriously. So we just kind of revisit how we're going to reformat it and
just share what we
about that.
Yeah, how our experiences, what we saw, what we found, what we have. We want to share it to everybody, and then go on our next journey and figure out what else we can find.
We collected a tremendous amount of information, insight, and meet people in the past years that we've been doing this, not only for the Probecast, but also for Travel Channel. So we just needed a break after that for a second, which is probably the worst time to probably put a podcast on hold, but you got to do what you got to do. Joe's having a baby. It all kind of came to a head, and
Joe's pregnant.
It's gonna hurt on the way out, Joe.
Number 7.
Speaking of latex, Joe, you need to woo on that thing, because how many more babies can you actually have?
I don't know. I'm getting close to 40, so I got to stop.
Yeah, I don't think we should ask him that question, Emmett. He might try to break a record there.
Don't push
1,
me. I
2,
will.
3,
I swear.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, when we were at the Storming Area 51 event, he was trying to buy gifts for each one of his kids. And it was like hundreds of dollars, and everybody only got one thing. And I'm like,
shit. I mean, come on, you get stuff like this.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's cute for like $40. Yeah, I can see why it costs $100
for $40.
Joe,
You paid for it.
Instead of stuff like that, you actually got to get one of these.
Is that a patch? What is it?
It's a patch.
Oh, sweet.
It's the group.
Let me zoom on.
Ah, there we go.
Oh,
yeah.
Groom Lake. Oh shit.
That's cool.
Groom Lake, nice.
I need to get one of those.
You got to get one of those. It's you got to talk to Connie, the owner of the bar, and she can hook you up with something. Because she has
Pucky dropped something and made it turn the other way and grabbed it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I got a question for you guys, Joe and Emmett. Hey, have y'all ever seen a mutilated cattle up close and personal?
We've seen dead bone. We've seen bones, but no mutilation.
Nothing fresh.
There's a lot of cow bones out there when we were investigating. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we heard you fine. Somebody's got the static in the line.
Okay.
It's just the aliens.
There are a lot of dead cows out there. When we were going through, when we were doing like night vision surveillance, we just kept running to cow bones, like heads and long asses. I don't know why there's so many dead cows out there, but apparently they get stuck out there and they die.
Jeez, that's bananas.
We get lost.
It looks like we lost Joe. Joe's
making a noise.
I think the kids jumped him. And it took him off. Fuck the cast. And listen, Emmett, thank you so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure having you on. And please keep us up to date on your projects. I myself, I know I want to watch whatever you guys are doing. You guys are funny.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. You know, it's actually been nice to kind of come on and just kind of share a little bit about what we've been doing. So we appreciate it. So much fun, man. We'll have to have you on our show. We're bringing it back. And I think we're going to do it in a much more intelligent way, which is kind of what I've been rooting for.
Oh, so you're going to ruin it?
Going to ruin it. No. Just, we need to.
You're going to have dancing girls and everything.
No, I think I just take it one step up a little bit,
Right.
No dancing
I
girls.
get it.
Dancing girls. No.
Yeah.
Dancing girls.
Nobody wants dancing girls. No dancing aliens.
Who wants boobies dancing around?
Hey, Joe, thank you for joining us today. It was fantastic.
No problem, guys.
Oh, hey, by the way, where can they hit you up for any questions or anything? Is there anything you want to share?
Yeah, realufobros.com. And all of our social handles are at Real UFO Bros.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right,
and
thank you.
Probecast on podcast available on podcasting places.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you listen to that. Even the old shows, because they're freaking hilarious.
Great. Now I'm going to keep that in mind. We'll make sure we keep that in mind. Thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not going to stray too far from that. We want to keep the core of what we do, but just bring on some more guests is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, exactly.
Manny's a guest.
All of you guys should come on sometime.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's really going to be a probe. Forget about the cat. All right.
I just say we probe intellectually. We don't
right.
We probe the brain. All right, guys. I'll let you go.
All right. Thanks, Emmett. And say thanks to Joe, too.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Chat, guys. I had a great time.
You too.
Thanks. Well, there you go. That was the UFO Bros. We kind of lost Joe there. I think that little doll might have zapped him or something. That thing was a little freaky.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's
so you guys
awesome,
are on right now. Somebody had a freak out. And actually, I want to say that Norm had a video he wanted us to check out, but his phone melted. And I don't know what the background is on the video. And we kind of need Norm to get his ass back on here so that we can show it. Would you guys got any freakouts you want to talk about while I take a drink here? Because my throat's getting dry.
I should freak out because I don't have a drink. The house is dry.
I didn't want to leave because I was talking. So
yeah, that's hilarious.
No, you can go ahead, man. That's the only thing I got to say right now. But you know, it's I just been watching the news a lot lately, and I think there's something big coming up. You know, we had a series of earthquakes, you know, on the East Coast here, around here. I think there's something big about to happen. Just but it's gonna hit to where somebody's gonna use it politically. You know, I really do believe that. You know, it's just one day at a time, especially with this COVID, man. You know, North Carolina's been a hot spot. You know, others are being hot spots around here. You know, South Carolina is running rampant. You know,
yeah, but there's a lot of fracking out there though, too.
Yeah,
where
there is.
Happening. We start taking what's underneath the earth, and then the plates have nowhere to go. You know,
right down in South Carolina, they do have some fracking, and also, you know, we have the Appalachian Mountains, so I think it shifts that right through here through North Carolina. So I'm surprised we haven't had bigger earthquakes.
That's true.
Yeah, and like I mentioned to you guys, we got a psychic watch for earthquakes coming. So until the end of the month.
Yeah, I've been watching
10.2 or something like that.
I've been watching all the live feed seismic channels on YouTube, checking out. They actually, a couple of days ago, in the Salton Sea, they were all pretty small, but they had like 8, I think, level 3s, all in the same area.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, so they're saying that's kind of unusual. So
it looks like the Norm is showing us on the. He's showing us.
I thought
I got
the Norm. Yeah, what is that, by the way?
It's a go-kart, isn't it? No, like a little.
This is actually something really cool. Yeah, this is a box of 1992 race cars cards. The dudes who do the race cars. This is back in 1992. And I just got that as a freebie in the mail from my friend Pucky. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Oh, there you go.
Seriously.
That's why Pucky was like, "Hey, what is that you have there?"
Pucky is like a big time race.
North Carolina here in Charlotte is NASCAR Hall of Fame.
That's 1990. Wait, am I delayed again? What?
No, you're not. You're fine.
Right.
Yeah. What the hell's going on?
Pucky, so you're the mecca of race cars.
Anything for NASCAR. I can get it.
So what I was explaining was that
nice.
Puckies are real knowledgeable at baseball and hockey, and I happen to be knowledgeable at football and NASCAR. So it just so happens that he said he had connections to this, and I was like, wow, and so now I have this whole box of new cards to go through.
Okay,
so cool.
Norm, you're going to hear this about 10 seconds later, but I've got the video up that you want to show everyone.
No, I'm here.
Oh, you got me. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and play, and you can talk people through. Well, first set it up for them. All I see is your finger. Oh, there it is. There you go.
He's throwing Manny the finger. Way to go.
All right, so I'm in the backyard. I'm in the backyard. I'm in the backyard, and I just happen to be looking up, having a smoke, and working in the backyard a little bit, and I see this thing shiny. So I grab my cell phone, and I just picked like out of the blue what it was. And unfortunately, the way it was falling, and it seemed to be to me, it seems to me to be falling, but where it was going downward, I had no access to. So I didn't bother going like into the front yard because I would have actually had to gone into a car to go and see what it was. But it seemed to be, a good, 400, 500 yards up in the air.
Not a plane?
And it seemed to be kind of flapping downward. It seemed to be flapping downward. And that's why I kind of looked at it, and it seemed to be white, and then it was shiny, and then it was white, and then it was shiny. And two thoughts ran through my head were, okay, paper plate, one, or a piece of a satellite that fucking came undone and didn't burn up. And I was like, I want that. but I kind of know where it might be if it, it was actually quite windy that day too. So it's hard to tell if it was just something from an updraft or if it was something anomalous that fell from maybe even an airplane for all I know. But it's definitely there.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, those are two birds running away.
That was a good catch. That's a very good catch.
That is. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that was about the only tangible thing. The other thing were just those little satellites that go over my head every once in a while, and a while, like every night. But yeah, that was it. That was cool. I thought it was just something quick and easy. I don't know who that is.
That's Manny's playlist. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the after party for you after seeing the silver stuff. All right, so there you go.
So
what do you guys
that was
think?
fun. And now with hardcore analytics. Yeah. What do you think, Green Man?
It's interesting. It's definitely weird how it just kind of like falls.
Green Man.
Like it's falling straight down.
Why does Norm sound like my senile grandmother?
Norm's phasing in and out of reality.
Like my mom. I have my mom's good heart, bro.
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm messing with you.
It could be several things. To be the negative one of it, it could be an updraft, like you said, of just trash of a bag. But I don't know. That's kind of, you're right about that. It was really high, so I doubt that's what it was. Who knows? I mean, it could be something. It could be a type of satellite. It could be a type of spy balloon, or something. Because I kind of wonder if the government sends out aerial stuff, that doesn't make any noise with microphones on it, to find out what the public is thinking or talking about, for COVID or the government or anything like that. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that they would do over metropolitan areas.
Yeah, I have a drone.
Yeah, it would be a helpful informational tool.
You can't hear it.
Yeah, I mean
But that it's a big white light. I mean, even my drone at 200 feet turns almost into a speck, and it's black into a blue sky, and that's a white. But the only thing I have seen is I have seen birds in the sky, and if they turn the right way, it looks just like that. And as it comes down, and we're still seeing it at that angle, it could be just a bird. It could have been just a bird, because I've seen birds almost as high as my damn drone. I'm taking my drone 400 feet, and I've seen the birds up that high.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, birds can get up there. I just saw a documentary on that too, man. There's some albatrosses that can get up almost to where they freeze to death. They lose oxygen and fall out of the sky dead.
Yeah,
because they fly up so high.
They deserve it. I think that what that is some old dude was parachuting and his silver party depends fell off. That's what it looks like to me, and it's just floating down.
That's what it is. It's old man undies. I love it.
Hey, old man undies. Yeah, the disco era. Yeah.
You do live out in Vegas, so anything can happen.
Yeah. There is that.
Well, anyway, I would like to see what the professionals that like steering these things have to say.
Yeah.
Definitely
I'm looking forward to it. I guess GameBet's going to take it and do something with it. So we'll see.
Do something.
I'm game.
No, he's game.
He's game.
GameBet.
All right, guys. I'm out.
All righty. Well, we're about to end the show. Don't leave yet.
What is he doing now?
He's showing the Emmett Smith or the Troy Aikman.
Oh,
That he got.
Stop it!
Oh, there you
Ding.
go. There you go.
There's Emmett.
right, guys. This is the end of the podcast. I thank you guys for joining us and being part of this show with UFO Bros. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed their visit. I'm looking forward to what they have in store next for everyone. So, you guys, as guardians, y'all get to say ciao.
Thanks, Manny.
Thanks, you guys.
Yeah, thank you, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it.
Later, guys.
Later, guys.
Hit that like.